Hi guys, welcome to Prelims Affairs, where we discuss different issues from prelims perspective. And today let us discuss about the concept of parole and furlough. Now both these concepts are important because prisons has become a focus area in the last 2 to 3 years in UPSC Prelims. Hence you should know or have clarity in these concepts. Now this concept is in news because of several Supreme Court judgment that has talked about this parole and furlough. As well as there is also a case of Ram Rahim where he has claimed both parole and furlough for an 184-day release. So on this context, this issue has been making news. So coming to this concept of parole and furlough, if you take the Prisoners Act 1894, this is the act that defines what is a parole and what is a furlough. Section 5A defines furlough and Section 5B of the Prisoners Act 1894 defines parole. However, the conditions of parole and furlough, that is the set period of time, changes from state to state because prisons is a state subject and each state has made its own rules. So on the basis of that, it changes. However, at the conceptual level, parole and furlough is the same. And the set guidelines or principles on what is parole and what is furlough is given by Ashfaq versus the state of Rajasthan case in 2017. Okay, now let us look at the difference between what is a parole as well as what is a furlough. Now we should understand both are conditional release system. They are conditional release of prisoners. And if you take parole, we can define parole as a conditional release of prisoner or early release of prisoner conditional upon good behavior and regular reporting to the authorities for a set period of time. That is what is known as parole. Now if you take furlough, furlough is a brief release of prisoner and this release happens because of good conduct remission. This keyword is important. Furlough is because of good conduct remission. So this is how we define what is a parole and what is a furlough. Now let us look at the differences between parole and furlough. The first is you should understand both are conditional release. However, what is important is parole is granted in terms of short-term imprisonment, whereas furlough is granted in terms of long-term imprisonment. That is the major difference. One is parole, short-term imprisonment, it is granted, whereas furlough is granted in terms of long-term imprisonment. The duration of parole may extend up to 1 month, whereas the duration of furlough will extend up to the maximum of 14 days. The next is the parole is granted by the divisional commissioner, whereas the furlough is granted by the Deputy Inspector General of Police. For parole, a specific reason is required, whereas furlough is meant for breaking the monotony of imprisonment. The next is the term of imprisonment is not included in the computation of the term of parole, whereas it is vice versa in the furlough. The next is parole can be granted any number of times, whereas furlough, in case of furlough, there is limitation. And since furlough is not granted for any particular reason, it can be denied in the interest of the society. Okay, so these are the differences that are actually cited in the Ashfaq versus the state of Rajasthan case of 2017. So these are the differences that are cited by the Supreme Court. Okay, so I hope you understood what is a parole. A parole usually is granted for a particular reason for a prisoner, though that prisoner is experiencing a short-term imprisonment. Now when that prisoner goes out, that prisoner is going out with the condition that that person will behave good, as well as that person will regularly report to the authorities. So this is the overall idea of the parole. If you take furlough, it is usually granted in terms of very long imprisonment. When there is very long imprisonment, in order to break that monotony of that long imprisonment, that prisoner as a matter of right is given a scope to go out and spend some time with the society as well as the family. This concept is known as furlough. So furlough is a matter of right. You allow that person to go out to the society and integrate, and hence it is called a good conduct remission. Okay, so to break that monotony of long term, you allow that person to go for a span of 14 days, spend some time with the family and come back. That is what is furlough. However, though it is given as a matter of right, in certain circumstances where the crime is heinous, it can be denied. And as I told you, furlough has limitation, whereas parole does not have any limitation. Furlough has no reason. It can be given as a matter of right, whereas parole to be given need to have a reason. There should be a specified reason for the parole to be given. So overall, these are the differences between parole and furlough. I hope it was helpful. Please make sure that you get more clarity with it. These are the factual dimensions that you need to cover whenever you come across a concept preparing for prelims. Until next time, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for all the love and support. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye.